Our guest now is Tandy Ervin, an expert on female veterans. Tandy, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Casey.
Okay, now there's an issue with, there was a big issue to try to get female soldiers eligible for combat posts. Well, now there's a problem with very few of them wanting to go.
Well, maybe not.
Oh, okay.
The survey that you're referring to did indeed show 7.5–8% of the women surveyed were ready to go into hardcore combat.
Mm-hmm.
Half of those wanted to be with the elite organizations.
Like the Green Berets and SEALs and things like that? Okay.
Yes. But my question is, had we surveyed males, what would the results have been? So we really don't have a criteria. We don't have something to compare to know if these are good stats or bad.
So we don't know if the 7 or 8% that are ready, willing, and able to go and want to be with the elite forces, we don't know if that's similar to men, or maybe it could even be more.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. So it's hard to evaluate that particular statistic. What is the important piece here is that if qualified, and men and women agree on that, if indeed they are physically, mentally qualified, they do indeed need the same opportunities.
Sure, but men are concerned about that, right? As are women. There's some concern on the part of both men and women in that group.
And rightfully so. Yeah. The women do not want to be viewed as the weak link by any means. They want to know that they are qualified, which comes back down to they cannot lower their standards to let women in. And
men are concerned because they don't want to lose their job to a woman.
Yep.
Because it's 1952. No, I'm just kidding. But are there any other concerns right now that are really causing problems for women entering major combat roles?
Not necessarily in entering combat role. Grace After Fire's, my organization's focus is transitioning women from military life back to civilian life. That seems to be sometimes a harder journey. So
is that a harder journey for women, or just a hard journey in general?
It seems to be. Stats unfortunately prove that it is harder for women.
I wonder why that is.
Well, their role in the family is a big piece of it. The female role is very different, and without sounding crass, the male, the father with PTSD, we can work around. Mom, we just can't.
Really? Why is that?
Her influence with the nucleus of the family, the relationship with the children. As I say, it's just a harder journey, and oftentimes the female is coming back to single parenting.
Really?
Our divorce rate is higher. And the resources oftentimes that the male would be receiving are not the same as the female.
Well, it's interesting that you would say that, but just thinking about it, everything you're saying makes perfect sense. But you don't ever really think. I mean, if you said, post-traumatic stress disorder, I would automatically think of a man.
Yeah.
Just right off the top. But if women are going into these, even if they're not in the heavy combat roles, there's still the possibility that they could suffer from PTSD. But I never even think about that. I also, you wonder if you're a woman and you go into the heavy combat role and then you come in and you have to take, what could be viewed as a subservient role to the guy, your spouse, that could create issues within the house.
You've described it beautifully.
Why can't women just stay home barefoot and pregnant? Why can't that? No, I'm kidding.
But that's valid. The reasons. Now, we have done surveys on this. The motivation is exactly the same when a woman signs up for the military as the man.
I would think it would have to be. Right?
Yes. Yeah. They feel such a sense of pride, of obligation to serve their country.
Yeah. Well, no, that doesn't surprise me at all. But, what surprised me, and it only surprised me because it makes perfect sense, what you're saying, and why we don't think about it is what these women go through when they come home. Hopefully we'll be able to get to a point where everybody understands that. I think eventually we will, but
I
as women,
absolutely agree.
when women enter the combat roles, we have to get used to that as a society and as men. Well, Tandy, thanks so much for taking the time to come on. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right, Tandy Ervin, expert on female veterans, about how statistically it may seem like few women want to take combat posts now that they're available to them, but because we don't have the same sort of statistics on men, it's hard to tell if that's too low or even too high.